Hey everyone! I'm so excited today because I'm finally going to begin my Illithid romance series. I've been absolutely dying to dig into this, and if you recall, I did a video long ago that was actually one of my most successful ones to date. And wouldn't you know, it was all about the Dream Lover. Well, technically, they call this person your guardian at character creation now, and then in dialogue, they call him the Dream Visitor. But back in the day in early access, when you designed this character, they asked you, who do you dream of? Who attracts you? And then this creation would come to you in your dreams and act quite seductively. Hence my nickname that will last forever as far as I'm concerned, the Dream Lover. If you're interested in how the entirety of these dreams used to occur in early access, they're all documented on my old video, so I'll shoot a link up there for you in case you're interested in watching that afterwards. But the dreams have changed in the full release of the game, and I'd say they've changed for the better. The voice actor is different, which is a little bit of a bummer, but the new voice actor quickly grew on me, and it wasn't long before I was smitten with this new Dream Lover as well. Now, to be fair, I haven't had the time to actually test anything regarding the arrival of the dreams. It used to be that you would get a dream for every 1 or 2 times you used your Illithid Wisdom in the game. Illithid Wisdom is basically a special power that allows you to bypass any rolls 1 time per long rest, and using it would usually bring the Dream Lover to your side at night afterwards. I definitely wanted to explore what might happen with this because, to be honest, I was always a bit infatuated with the idea of this fantasy romance in your head. So, in my game, I used the powers every chance I got. I have no idea what happens if you don't use the powers. Maybe it eventually happens later, maybe it doesn't happen at all. You'll all have to tell me in the comments below, but for the sake of wanting to meet my Dream Lover as much as possible, I used those powers constantly. It wasn't until sometime into the Goblin camp that I finally had my first dream. Granted, there are many opportunities to use the Illithid Wisdom powers on the way to the camp, though, which is probably what prompted it. You'll know you're about to have your first dream, though, when upon going to camp for a long rest, you'll get this scene. Your Tav will be feeling awful, as will everyone else, and Lae'zel will try to attack you, thinking you're going to turn Gaek pretty soon. You can thankfully talk her out of it in a number of ways and eventually go to sleep. This is when you'll get your first dream. Let's take a look at it.
I came just in time. You are transforming. Yes, you have. I saved you before. And I'm here to save you again. Don't worry. You will not become a mind flayer. Not while I'm around. I'll protect you.
Hold up, I gotta take a break here and say, holy shit, guys. When I first saw this, I was completely blown away. He basically comes and stops you from transforming into a mind flayer, which makes so much more sense compared to how it used to be. We knew something had stopped the transformation then, but this is nice and direct, so there's no question about who or what caused it. But what's even more amazing is that you get this whole flashback of all the times you've encountered this person before. On the Nautiloid, while you were still in your pod, he was the one who let you out. What? I guess Hearing their voice, or in my case, his voice, causes you to remember them, and hearing it before, which is exactly what I had to say in response, and either Tav remembers or he shows you another flashback of when you were falling from the Nautiloid to your death. Wasn't it strange how you just stopped before going splat on the ground? Well, it's not confusing anymore. We now know exactly who saved you. No other than this wonderful man was responsible. And you have to understand, for someone who has been playing this game since early access, that's 3 years of the game the way it used to be, and always wondering, how the heck did we not fall to our deaths? And now, knowing for sure, it's just mind-blowingly exciting to me. After that, he vows to protect you from becoming a mind flayer and offers you his hand. There was no other option as far as I was concerned than to take that hand. But what happened next was even more exciting. Now let's watch the rest of the clip.
We haven't much time, so listen closely. There is great potential within you. It comes from that parasite. Your instinct is to resist the power it gives, but you must accept it. Nurture it. I will keep it from consuming you. But for the sake of both of us, you must learn to wield it. A fight for the fate of Faerun. A fight we are losing. For now. You can change that. But only if you embrace your potential. I have to go. The enemy is closing in. I will be back. Wake now. You'll feel better. I promise.
So now he's telling me to embrace the powers that the tadpole gives me, and I was already doing that, so it's not like he's asking much of me. But I'm sure many people at this point are not feeling so sure about listening to him. In fact, I've heard many people voice their distrust of the Dream Lover. Me, on the other hand, well, this first dream has completely won me over. He's already saved me twice, now 3 times technically, offers me power if I just take it, and speaks of some untold war that he's battling all alone. This shit is wild. Okay, I'm all over the place. That's the excitement getting to me. But let me try to focus more on the scene. So he shows us this weird skull-shaped rock, and there are all these strange white figures that seem to be attacking a sphere within the rock. I have no idea what's going on, but he calls it a fight for the fate of Faerun. What does that even mean? He says he has to go because the enemy is closing in and that he'll be back. And there's some crazy explosion that goes off, and he holds his hand up to shield the both of you before sending you back from whence you came. And I love how he says that we'll feel better, I promise. Oh, oh my God. And that's not all. No, it's not just some hunky guy visiting me in my dreams. No, this also sets off a new quest, one called Embrace Your Potential, where we're asked to explore the powers our parasite gives us. I had collected a tadpole specimen from my fight with the gnolls up on the Risen Road, and so I attempted to consume it, and this happened.
This one is a true soul parasite. It can enhance you. You can absorb its potential. Open your mind to it. You already know how.
Your mind swells as it subsumes everything the tadpole has to offer. Everything it was and everything it was destined to be. Pure potential. Pure power.
Good. You have grown your power and improved your chances of survival.
So now he can communicate you even when you're not sleeping, which is so cool. This fat tadpole is gnarly looking and I'm not feeling too great about eating it or absorbing it or whatever the hells is going on. But consuming it, however that goes down, gives you access to a whole new talent tree of sorts. It's brain power. Brain power! Well, technically, it's called Illithid Powers, which replaces the old system of just getting static skills. Now you can take a whole myriad of different skills. It takes one tadpole to learn each skill, and some of them are incredibly useful. What's even cooler is that you can convince your companions to partake of the Illithid powers too. Some may need a lot of convincing, but others, like Astarion, are more than willing to take advantage of the power. I didn't have much trouble convincing Gale either, but he was also at exceptional with me, which I do believe affects how willing they are to try it. But Lae'zel was pretty difficult to convince, and I had to pass several checks, but she did eventually agree to use them. Man, I have to say, I am so impressed and happy with all of these new Illithid-centered things. We're now shoving extra tadpoles in our brain, I guess, and I've never been happier. I know, I'm weird. It doesn't have to make sense. I only wish I could have gotten this video edited sooner because I've been sitting on my excitement for so long and just wanting to share it with you guys. I know many of you probably think I'm an idiot for having full trust in this dream visitor, but I'm going for it. I just know this is going to be an amazing path and I can't wait to see where it takes me. I'm going to try and alternate my Astarion content with the rest of the Dreamlover stuff that I need to catch up on so that people won't be too impatient waiting for one or the other. It's just I've waited long enough and I needed to get this out before I got too far into the game. So keep an eye out and I promise I will eventually get to Gale too. But I'm likely going to finish my current game, then go back and take an alternate path where I romance Gale instead of Astarion. So all that's coming. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing, as there is going to be a huge slew of new BG3 content coming out over the next few months, possibly years. I mean, there's a lot. Thanks to my Patreons for the support, and if you'd like to help support the channel too, and get access to the private Discord and a whole other chunk of content on Patreon, then head over and make a pledge. I'll see you guys later.